I know this is easier said than done, but I've done it, is just go and just do it. Whether it is just going in for the consultation at first, having them meet with you and seeing, just what it's about, what it's like, going and meeting with them and you understanding how they're there for you and they're going to take care of you and they want you to make you feel good. That's what it's all about.
Welcome to HairPod, the podcast where you get to hear real people talk about their hair journeys. I'm your host, Kevin Ralston, and each week I get to interview people from different walks of life whose lives have been touched by hair loss in some form or fashion. Many of our guests have experienced hair loss themselves and found a way to get their confidence and their hair back. Today on HairPod, we're excited to welcome Kyle Weatherman, a rising star on the NASCAR circuit. His career has taken him from the high-speed straightaways of the track to the twists and turns of a stock car driver's world, attending formal sponsor dinners, being photographed by the press, and living as an athlete who is often in the public eye. A few years ago, Kyle noticed his hairline starting to recede. And those of us who have genetic hair loss know that even if you can see it coming, like Kyle, it doesn't necessarily make the emotions of losing your hair any easier. Luckily, he had competitors in the NASCAR community who were open about their hair loss and their chosen solutions. We already spoke to Joey Logano and Frankie Muniz about their hair journeys, and if you'd like to check out what they had to say on the subject, we're going to link you to their episodes in the show notes. For now, though, let's dive into Kyle's transition to using a hair system, his experiences on and off the track, and the care routine that keeps him looking and feeling his best.
I just turned 27 this past week, but it started probably 23, 24. That's whenever I really kind of started noticing it and just did something about it, basically a year and a half ago. So yeah, it started early. It started really early for me. And I think racing had a big part of that, wearing the helmet and stuff like that all the time. And then, had the sponsor hat on and just always wearing a hat. And genetics, right? I feel like just didn't get the good gene for hair.
Right. Yeah, I had that awareness as well. I had a maternal grandfather, and I'd always heard that was where it was going to come from. And there was a photo of him in my hall growing up. And so I always kind of looked at that and I thought, oh man, I think that's probably going to be me one day. So I was on it. And it sounds like you did what I did. You jumped on your hair loss issues pretty quick. What did you do and how long did it take? And what were the first remedies that you went for?
Gosh, it's been so good. So there's been actually a couple of drivers in the community that have jumped on Hair Club and just love it. The confidence that it brings back, first off, you don't have to go to the racetrack with a hat on anymore. These sponsor meetings and sponsor dinners that you go to, you don't wear a hat. So then, you used to be embarrassed to show up and kind of have such a receding hairline. So yeah, I wasn't terrible, but it was getting bad, right? Where it was receding back and, just decided to do something about it, right? And I felt like really in anything in life, the faster you can, figure out that you might have a problem, something that you're not confident with, or just anything in life, the faster you jump on it and don't dwell on it, the more confident you're going to feel in every single area. And the more confident you are, just the better you're going to be in life and strive to do something better every single day, right? So yeah, I am so thankful that there is, and blessed that there is something like this that can provide something like this for someone like me that's 28 or someone that's 50, 60, whatever. It doesn't matter the age group. I mean, you can even get younger than where I'm at if that's something that you're battling. And honestly, I wish I'd done it earlier, right? There's that span of 3, 4, 5 years, where I was getting in the shower and dreading it, right? Because, when you're washing your hair, you're just going to look at your hands and be depressed, right? There's that span of years that, heck, I wish I'd have just jumped on it earlier and took that leap of faith and did it earlier. But I'm glad I did it now.
What was step one for you? Did you start with a Google search? Did you talk to somebody that you knew had gone through hair loss issues?
So I saw there was 2 drivers that did it before me, Frankie Muniz and Joey Logano. I saw that they kind of took that leap and saw that it looked great on both of them. I'm like, so why can't I do that? Right. And, just reached out and got with the good group over here at Hair Club, and they took care of me. And I've got my own personal stylist that I go to,
Wow. Okay.
whenever I need it,
Right.
Go up there in Winston-Salem, and her name's Courtney. She takes care of me. She's just amazing. Right. And just brought the confidence back. And like I said, now I can go to these sponsor dinners, go to the racetrack, go on a date with my wife, and feel confident and not have to worry about, throwing on the 17 million hats that I have. I threw all those away.
For Kyle, finding the right hair solution was a game changer. So much so that he felt like he didn't need to hide under a hat anymore. This might leave you wondering, how much work is a hair system compared to the ease of just throwing on a hat before you leave the house, or after, say, taking off your helmet after hours in a hot car? And I think that's such an important question. Nowadays, we are all short on time. And no matter how badly you want a hair solution, like Kyle's or otherwise, it may not seem feasible if it's going to take up a lot of your time. I asked Kyle, a relatively new user of Hair Club, to give us all the details on his daily, weekly, and monthly routines.
It hasn't really changed, besides that I have hair.
Okay.
In all honesty, right? So the routine is very similar to if you had real hair, right? You get in the shower, wash your hair, you put shampoo in twice and just get it clean, lather it up with conditioner, and that's about it, really. I mean, there's different products that they recommend you do, once or twice a month that kind of just strips everything, gets it clean, and then you can kind of just restart again. But other than that, the routine for me is super easy, and yeah, the routine that it is going to appointments. I've got a whole list. I've actually got it on my fridge right here, a list of appointments that are already set up with hairline. So they'll peel the piece back. They'll fix the hairline. That is once a month. And then, that's twice a month. And then at the end of every month, I'll go and get it all the way taken off, refreshened up underneath, and then put back on. And it's incredible, right? The piece itself is amazing, right? There's very, very little lifting throughout the whole month span that it's on for that full month. You'll get it here and there. And like I said, I'm a little bit different as well because I'm in race cars that are, 130, 140 degrees inside those things with a helmet strapped on and sweating to death, right? So I'm not, I guess, a normal person in that state, right? And the product that I have and the piece that I have, stands and with that type of duration, right? So it's just incredible.
And you have high confidence when you're wearing it. You're never worried about your system coming off in your helmet or anything along those lines?
I was initially, right? And as anyone would be, but, just over time, I mean, it's so reliable, right? And yeah, no, I don't have any doubt in my mind, right, that when I'm taking the helmet off, that it's not going to not be there, So I do have, and that's the other thing, right? They set you up with this like little kit, right? And if something does start to lift or whatever, right? And you'll get areas towards the end of that month or whatever it looks like, they'll set you up with this kit and you've got the exact materials that you'll need to apply to that area that'll make it go back down, right? So my wife's got that with me in her purse, just in case something were to happen, right? Whether it's before the race, we could fix it in the lounge or if it's after the race or whatever, right? But I've been a member for, I think, gosh, I don't even know, probably it's almost close to a year now. And I honestly haven't even opened the kit.
Having been with Hair Club for over a year, Kyle's experience shows just how reliable and low maintenance a good hair system can be, even with a lifestyle as intense as his. But beyond reliability, choosing the right option can make all the difference in everyday comfort. The breathable lace base that he uses ensures that even in the heat of the moment, his hair system stays comfortable and natural looking. It's all about finding the solution that works for your unique needs. And for Kyle, that's exactly what he found.
The skin system, it can get a little bit hotter underneath, but the lace system that I have here, incredible, right? It lets the sweat through, it breathes. The skin system, yes, is a little bit hotter, right? But the hairline that it provides with the skin system is insane. But honestly, with the lace system here as well that Hair Club provides, it is right there with the skin system as well, in my opinion, right? So for me, I sweat a lot. And then obviously what I do on the weekends
right.
the lace system is definitely the way to go for me. Now, if I were to go do a photo shoot with you guys or any type of photo shoot that I would have towards the beginning of the year with sponsors and stuff like that, I would go with a skin system just for, just an amazing hairline.
Wow. Okay.
But this lace system here, it provides, very similar aspects in a lot of areas. But to answer a few more of your questions, yeah, there's no problem with heat or anything like that. There is a product that I apply, once a week that'll get rid of any type of itchiness sensation that you may have over a month span if you let it build up. But if you just take care of it weekly and just it's called Alive that they provide.
You're right.
It knocks it right out, and you don't even have to worry about it.
Absolutely. No, it's great. Yeah. So, I mean, that's the thing to me, the options that are out there. And I'm, curious how many roads you went down, because even with the hair systems that are offered, there's varieties in that, which I find to be absolutely amazing, depending upon, where you are with what your needs are, what your budgets are, and, the ability that Hair Club and various places have to work with you. Was there ever anything that you did before the hair system, or did you go right in and where you were with your hair loss to say, okay, it's time to go right to a hair system?
Yeah. Hair system wise, no, this is the first step that I took. I spent stupid money on other, like whether it was pills or product that I could put in it to make it grow back. And you saw all these, commercials that's like, oh, your hair can come back.
Right. Yeah.
It just didn't work for me. Right. And I spent way too much money trying to do that. And once again, I wish I'd have just 3 or 4 years ago where I took the leap here, I wish I'd have just done it back then, and I'd have saved money, not wasted my time there, and just got it fixed initially. Right. And, it was obviously, just fighting for it. Right. And trying to keep it there, but it just wasn't in the genetics, wasn't in the genes. And we did something about it though.
That's the toughest thing that I hear. And I was right in your boat. I went a much longer time between, finding the hair system and when I started having the hair loss. So I've been down that path and can speak to every possible solution that is out there. And, look, I think they all have different levels of success for different people. And it also depends upon where you go. The thing that I'm comfortable with Hair Club is not only is it just one call, one solution, and they can get you right in there and find what is best for you. But to me, it's also having the confidence of a company that has been around for over 4 decades, that has had experience, that has every product that you would ever possibly want. And I've just talked to so many people now. I don't know if you ever spend any time on Instagram or some social medias, but they're always hitting you with different kinds of places that have hair loss remedies. And, these are startups, a lot of them, and places that haven't been around for that long. And so to me, to have a place that you trust, to know that you're going in there and the money that you have is going to be well spent to an actual solution rather than a hopeful promise that gets you back to nowhere. I imagine that's probably frustrating for you when you spend a lot of money on something and you realize that it didn't work at all.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. You're exactly right. I mean, it's just time wasted in a sense, right? And confidence lost and anxiety and depression that might arise when you're dealing with those problems, right? And obviously you want it fixed, and there's an easy fix. And you actually said it right. I mean, this isn't a startup company that might have a solution, right? Or might be able to get it fixed. You come in and they get it fixed. Like it's a done deal, right? And they've already worked through all the bugs and all the problems that might arise, and they have a solution for anything that might occur, right? And every person is different. And here's the coolest part is, and it took about 2 months for them to figure out exactly what type of adhesive that they could use for my skin and my breakdown and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But even to that, right? With what it is adhesed or whatever that word is, stuck to your head with, they've got so many different type of materials that they work with for different people. And they've got a solution for anybody that has that problem, and they can get it handled.
Hair Club understands that everyone's needs are different. Whether it's finding the right base material, matching a specific hair texture, or selecting an adhesive that's just right for each individual, their stylists are true experts, trained to navigate these nuances and create a personalized experience for every client. For Kyle, having the same stylist every month means a consistent, reliable experience. But what if he's on the road? Hair Club's network allows him to drop into any location, ensuring he's always covered, even while traveling. It's that kind of flexibility and tailored care that keeps Kyle confident no matter where his journey takes him.
I've got a great routine set up. So like I said, I go to Courtney in Winston-Salem. She's amazing. Trust her with everything, right?
That's great.
But
okay.
The best part is I do travel a lot, right? There's, places we can go anywhere, and all it takes is one phone call. If it's an emergency, they can fit you in, right? And they've said that so many times at so many different areas and locations, have not had to use that just because I'm set up on a really good plan and feel confident with where I'm at. But to know that that's there, if I go to Sonoma, California and or whatever, right? I mean, it just got everywhere, right? And Phoenix, Arizona, it doesn't matter where you're at, that they've got a solution there if there's a problem, right? And, so it just the confidence on my work where it does involve traveling and the heat that I deal with and the sweat that I produce,
right.
They've got a problem they've got a fix for all the problems that might occur. And it's, like you said, they've been in it for a while and just got it all figured out.
Another massive advantage. Absolutely. Yeah, that's really cool. So tell me a little bit about, for you, the confidence that it gives. You talked about how before you're wearing a lot of caps and you're doing a lot of publicity. You're always on camera. And, I kind of had that as well. It was a camera that kind of pointed out, we had a dome camera in our studios and the show that I do, and it was always showing the bald spot. And that was what really propelled me to do it. Was there that kind of moment of insecurity? Was there something that you always saw, a reflection or just whatever you're doing that really kind of propelled you to first make that call?
Oh, for sure. I hated the way that I looked in a sense of my receding hairline and hair loss that I was dealing with, right? So any type of pictures that I got, I would do anything I can to get the perfect angle or just wear a hat or whatever that looks like, right? And there's multiple times where there's situations where I can't wear a hat, right? Whether it's going to, a fancy sponsor dinner or, whatever that may look like, right? I guess another big thing for us as drivers when we're doing, prayer and the national anthem, they always go around with TV cameras and stuff like that. And, you're praying, your head's down. So bam, you got that right there. You're
the hat has to come off and you have to show the crown of your head.
The hat's off, right? Yeah, you're there, you're praying and or national anthem, right? And they'll get right in there on your face and you see the nice receding hairline. It's just, it was embarrassing and just, loss of confidence very quickly. And look, any guy that says that they don't lose confidence with a receding hairline, unless you have an amazing bald head, which I don't, that wasn't a decision that I was going to do either, is I don't have a good bald head.
I know. I wish I could. I'm the same way. I look terrible with a shaved head.
Yeah. Some people pull it off. I'm not that guy. So, other than those guys, if you have a receding hairline and you're trying to keep your hair and you say that you're not losing confidence or don't feel great about yourself in certain ways and aspects, then, they're probably not telling you the truth.
You're right. Yeah. It sounds like your wife is very supportive of you doing the hair system.
Yeah, she is. She is from day one. Right. And we actually both deal with similar aspects, right? She actually goes to hair club as well. She battles with trichotillomania, so it's a genetic disorder that she deals with that causes her to pull her hair, and, hair club has helped her as well. So we're both in this together. I think this is so cool. We're a great couple in so many different areas, and she's my big support system. Yeah, she was all about it. And at that time, she had a different solution that she was using to help with what she had going on, but Hair Club stepped up as well and are helping both of us. And I know that she's getting on here pretty soon with the podcast with you guys as well. And I'm excited to see that and just see both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. Got her coming up. And, that's one thing I think a lot of people don't realize is that so many women, and for various reasons, are dealing with their own issues with hair loss. And, too often it just seems like Hair Club is something, or whatever your solution might be, is a problem that only men seem to have. And that's definitely not true at all. So as your wife will tell us coming up here in another episode. So,
yeah, I mean, the biggest thing I would say is, and I get it, scary looking at it from the outside, looking in and what this would look like and what this would potentially do. I know this is easier said than done, but I've done it, is just go and just do it. Whether it is just going in for the consultation at first, having them meet with you and seeing, just what it's about, what it's like. Going and meeting with them and you understanding how they're there for you and they're going to take care of you and they want you to make you feel good. That's what it's all about, right? And that would be the biggest thing that I would say is just take the leap of faith, at least to go in and have the consultation, at least meet with them and understand how nice every single person there is, and literally just wanting to help you. Right. And that's what I would say is, and I know it's easier said than done, but coming from me, I've done it. Just go do it. Just go in there and see them.
That's right. Well, Kyle, I can't wait to watch for you during the prayer and the national anthem. And I'm going to check out that amazing head of hair that you have and the pride that you got doing it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, I appreciate it. And it's, can't thank everything that Hair Club has done for me and my wife as well. And, it'll be in the family. I'm sure our kids down the future will unfortunately have the amazing blessed genes that I'm going to transfer over to them. So once that happens, they're going straight to Hair Club as well.
For Kyle, embracing hair loss wasn't just about finding a solution for himself. It was about feeling like himself. Kyle's story is a testament to what is possible if the people in your life are open about their issue with hair loss and supportive of others on their own journeys. Kyle found support in other NASCAR drivers and his wife, who is also a proud Hair Club client. With their guidance, he found his way to a hair system that fits his needs within a couple of years after his hair started thinning. Deciding to do something about your hair loss is a deeply personal decision. And as Kyle suggests, sometimes it just takes that first step, a leap of faith to explore what's possible. As his story shows, there's a solution out there for everyone. For more inspirational stories and words of wisdom from people who have been through hair loss, make sure to subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast app. And thank you for listening to another episode of HairPod. Check us out at Hair Club on Instagram or search HairPod on Facebook to continue the conversation. If you know someone who could benefit from hearing this episode, we would love it if you would share it with them. If you're enjoying the show, consider leaving us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast app. We also have a website. Check it out by going to podcast.hairclub.com. We're here to build people up and share real stories so people experiencing hair loss feel a little bit less alone. And when you share, review, and subscribe, it helps us do just that. So thank you. Until next time.